All right, you guys, it's your boy Town Biz. What's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, so check this out. So, just got finished watching Mr. McMahon. Is a limited series, documentary series that you can view via Netflix. Now, after watching this in this entirety, a lot of questions should be raised about Vince McMahon. It just goes to show you that there was no limits that Vince McMahon would go to bring in ratings and basically become number one. I give him credit. He's a fierce competitor, but when you watch this film, you're going to really have some questions about Vince McMahon as a character and some of the things you heard about him. Now, to be honest with you, the media has shied away, and a lot of these fake content creators have shied away from this. But Vince McMahon is currently under investigation for, the same things that P. Diddy is being accused of. But, people only want to be focused on Vince McMahon. And you've been hearing about some despicable and deplorable things that Vince McMahon allegedly participated in along with other colleagues, and his disrespectful and deplicable treatment of the women involved in the WWE. And it just goes to show you how fake people are. Like I said, everybody is fixated on Diddy, but you haven't heard any segments, nobody talking about Vince McMahon on The View. And this is what pisses me off, and this is why I've shied away from the Diddy thing, because people don't have the same energy. While everybody are congratulating and celebrating certain content creators, saying thank you for protecting women and providing a safe haven, to basically protect women and bring this to the forefront. I just find that funny. And this is what I'm saying. People just don't keep the same energy. And this is why, like I said, I've shied away from this whole Diddy thing, because I feel like this. If you're disgusted with Diddy, you should be disgusted with Jeffrey Epstein. Should be disgusted with Kevin Spacey. You should be disgusted with Vince McMahon. Now, Vince McMahon hasn't been arrested for anything, but he did step down as CEO. Even though he had sold the WWE, he had sold it for billions of dollars, but he did step down as chairman and CEO. And he was ahead of the board, and he basically stepped down. But then again, this man is almost 80 years old, but it is what it is. And one thing in particular, when they were talking to Vince McMahon, like I said, there was no level that Vince McMahon wasn't willing to stoop to bring in ratings and to get people to watch the WWE and at the same time squash the competition. But there was a storyline that Vince McMahon basically wanted to come up with involving him and incest, him impregnating Stephanie McMahon. I was like, what? Now, at first, Stephanie McMahon is featured in the documentary, the docu-series. But wow. Now, they was just talking about, some of the stuff that some of the storylines you had seen over the years with the WWE. How they went from basically family oriented to raunchy. Then they cleaned it up a little bit, but, they cleaned it up a little bit to make it more family friendly once again. And then afterwards, they were just, I guess you could say just going over some of the things that they did in the past. And Stephanie McMahon was talking about how she was involved and, what her role was and some of the storylines, because she was like the number two along with her husband. When Shane McMahon left, he disappeared for a while, but he eventually came back. But one of the storylines that was very questionable that had me going like, whoa, was, the pregnancy where Vince McMahon was gonna basically impregnate Stephanie. Stephanie was like, hell no. And Vince McMahon, he basically admitted to it because she basically tried not to talk about it. She basically tried not to discuss it. But Vince McMahon, when they got to him, because keep in mind, they shot this over a 3-year period from 2021 to 2024. That's one thing about those documentaries. It's a lot of work that go into those documentaries. It's real talk. But anyway, nevertheless, I found that very peculiar and to a certain degree sickening. And then basically, that's a very weird storyline. And then not to mention some of the things that Vince McMahon is being accused of, from him basically allegedly taking a bowel movement on somebody to basically passing somebody around. Now, now they call that trafficking and all this kind of stuff. But my thing is, why is it the media, or why haven't the media been on this like they have with Diddy? And this is why I say, these so-called content creators, some of them do have a journalistic integrity, and they do this from a journalistic standpoint. But then some of these people, they do this just for views, not about what's right and all this kind of stuff, and putting the truth out there. They do this for views, subscribers, and money. So it's not about justice. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about what's hot, whether it's good or bad. So, I just wanted to put that out there. So, yeah, that was really weird to hear about that with Vince McMahon. So there you have it. Anyway, this your boy Town Biz. I'm out.